Welcome everyone to the 134th Celebrity Synastry chart reading, where we will be looking into Sam Taylor-Johnson and Aaron Taylor-Johnson. If you don't know me, hi, I'm Adeline and it is so nice to meet you. On this channel, I look at the dynamic between two celebrities using astrology. For those new returning, I take notes on a synastry chart looking at the personal planet signs, aspects, and if birth times are available house overlays. I share these notes and add my extra insights and interpretations along the way. So if that sounds good to you, subscribe and click the bell to join us weekly, and let's get right into this one. Starting off with the sun, we have Sam's sun in Pisces and Aaron's sun in Gemini. These are both mutable signs. It's an adaptable relationship and they have a difference in problem solving. They are both naturally inconsistent and Aaron tends to make Sam discuss issues. Sam's sun sextile Aaron's Venus. They really love each other. That's there. Aaron boosts Sam's ego, which isn't necessarily surprisingly so. Sam feels adored by Aaron and they both have a desire for cooperation and harmony. Sam's sun, Trine Aaron's Jupiter. They will overdo together. I mean, the relationship and them getting married is in a way overdoing, in terms of stretching the limits of what is conventionally accepted. They're good travel companions, which, he's an actor and she's a director. So, both of them in that sort of film industry, I imagine that would happen. There's a possibility of unpredictable, and Aaron boosts Sam's self-confidence we're seeing again. They both have a desire to make the other happy, and positive mutual respect will be maintained if they separate, which I'm pretty sure they have kids together. So, I mean, that's always good, if they would be able to co-parent together well, despite everything else. Aaron gives Sam the benefit of the doubt frequently, which I guess I don't want to say answers because hopefully we'll see a bit more potentially, but I guess answers potentially what his thoughts may be on the relationship, because there is quite a lot of opinion out there on these two, and pretty much all of it is against them, essentially, for lack of better words. So I assume Aaron's response to that would be just giving her the benefit of the doubt. It seems like he's putting her on a pedestal. Sam's sun sextile Aaron's Neptune. They easily forgive each other. Seems to be a bit more on Aaron's end if he's the one giving her the benefit of the doubt. They explore intuition together and it's a romantic and spiritual bond. They're attuned to each other's feelings and they're conscious of each other's needs. Which does go back to the beginning, how they're both a bit naturally inconsistent, but it is that adaptable relationship, so adapting to each other's needs and everything. They both feel they have found their soulmates. Sam's sun, Trine Aaron's Pluto. It's a transformative relationship and it's also a productive relationship, which I'm pretty sure they met on set somewhere, so it kind of literally was productive in a sense, working together. They are fascinated with each other and they both want to get to know each other deeply. Aaron inspires Sam to dramatically transform herself. Okay, because on one way you could see this as, because we did see how he boosts her self-esteem and everything, he makes her feel confident and obviously maybe a bit more feels more free to maybe experiment with herself and all of that. But you could also see this in a more deceiving way. She met Aaron and she was inspired to transform herself to maybe appeal to him more. You could interpret that in many ways. Aaron's sun opposite Sam's moon. There's a strong and mutual attraction and their differences attract them, which I wonder if that would be the literal age gap difference that brings them to the relationship. They are both drawn to the relationship and Aaron may find Sam too dependent. I wonder if that is more of a sort of, from what we have seen so far, potentially a self-esteem thing, she's really relying on him for her self-esteem in that way and validation. Sam may find Aaron overbearing. Aaron's sun square Sam's Uranus. It's not predictable or stable and separation occurs and causes strain, which I assume this will be going back to the traveling together and the reality of their careers. Sam feels trapped by Aaron over time. This is interesting. Okay. The relationship can start and end suddenly. I'm pretty sure this was one of those situations where like suddenly he turned 18 and suddenly they're in a relationship. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure this was one of those weird ones. They cannot rely on each other in the long term, and Aaron grows tired of Sam's inconsistency. Sam changes and challenges Aaron's life, which I think is a shared view by some people, that, you know, he kind of initially was with her potentially for some like industry connections and stuff like that. And he is, you know, has been proven to be a very successful actor. So, you know, Aaron initially finds Sam attractive and appealing. Aaron's sun squares Sam's Pluto. It's love-hate, there's a strong magnetic connection. It's transformative, we're seeing again, and they both trigger the other's deepest issues. I mean, from like a more, I guess, Freudian point of view, just considering the age gap and like what we've seen with Sam as well, like, because it seems like her self-esteem is reliant on Aaron. I wonder if like maybe there is an issue with on Sam's end with like maybe her self-esteem. She's felt like she was getting like older, potentially not as like attractive. And then with Aaron, I think like conventional mommy issues, you know, or even daddy issues, you could say. It's some other sort of like issues he went through when he was younger. Potentially that is, you know, what attracted them to the other, those differences, and also those issues would be kind of triggered by the other. There are power struggles and they both need to learn not to focus on their ego. It's hard to remain just friends after, so which we did see how like they mutual respect remains after the end. So I wonder if they simply are just like cordial like co-parents over anything else. They want to learn everything about the other, which I think we're seeing again, and there's a possibility to encourage the other's negative qualities. You could see this like with Sam, like if Sam again, like her self-esteem, like that's what came up. I really hope we'll see something else besides like her self-esteem has been validated here, because, you know, that is kind of a negative quality in itself to like validate someone when they're not doing it themselves, if that makes sense. Because, you know, Aaron is becoming this real person that Sam is depending on, and which isn't great. I hope I'm making sense there, but there's, you know, it's not a great thing. I think it would be better off for everyone if she validated it herself and didn't rely on Aaron, in short. There's a possibility of an unhealthy obsession with the other, and they both experience emotions they never felt before, which definitely on Aaron's bit. I imagine for Sam's bit, I'm pretty sure she was married before, so I don't know what sort of age difference there was there, but I'm sure that would be a certain emotion that would come where you're, you know, going out with someone that is a lot younger than you, particularly since it is very unconventional for the woman to be older. And we did also see that they both feel they found their soulmate in each other, so definitely a unique relationship for them. They both want to be the dominant one, which, yeah, in their own ways, like obviously the age thing, you know, has some dominance, but also the male thing has some dominance, so makes sense.
Now for the intermission. This video is brought to you by me, my Etsy store, Adeline the Astrologer. If you ever watch this and think, hey, I would like her to read my Synastry chart, well, I will. I do personalized Synastry chart readings on my Etsy store. I do both basic and detailed ones. The basic ones are a bit more simple to understand and really good for those just beginning out in astrology, getting their heads around it, or just as a fun gift idea. The detailed readings are very similar to what I do here, so it's a lot of it just with my insights and interpretation on the chart. So if you're interested in that and everything else, astrology and tarot, readings and gifts, definitely check out my Etsy store for that. I'm always releasing new other things there as well. And you can even just favorite the store just to support me for free. Thank you for listening, and let's get back to the reading.
So now it's time for moon. We have Sam's moon in Sagittarius and Aaron's moon in Aquarius. These are both masculine signs. They have similar emotional needs, and there's an unconventional relationship. They possibly share social circles, which they are both like British, I'm pretty sure, in like that sort of like Hollywood area, which I assume is a bit more niche than like American Hollywood. They share humanitarian interests, and the relationship lacks depth and intimacy. I mean, it is depth in one way. Like, you know, there's this weird, like, tie they have to each other, like, this weird obsession with the other. Aaron's moon squares Sam's Neptune. They misunderstand each other's signals, and it's a confusing relationship. I definitely, for the public, it is. There's a possibility of neglecting each other, which we did say, like, separation occurs and causes strain, which I imagine, because it seems like they do have a bit of that obsession with the other. I imagine this would be more so due to like the travel and like their lifestyles over anything else. Aaron is sensitive to Sam's moods, which I imagine it would be like going back to him finding her a bit too dependent, which again, like the possibility to encourage the other's negative qualities. Like we haven't seen a whole lot on Aaron's ends, just with Sam, and it seems like she's dependent on Aaron for validation. You know, on one hand, he probably is like accidentally validating that negative quality, you know, because he's obviously wanting to be nice, I imagine, because he seems to, you know, validate her, put her on the pedestal and all of that. But it's not great for the longevity of it if, you know, Sam keeps depending on Aaron for that, you know. Aaron is unsure of Sam's intentions. That's not great. I don't like that. There's difficulty maintaining the relationship. So now it's time for Mercury. We have Sam's Mercury in Pisces and Aaron's Mercury in Gemini. These are mutable signs. There's a conflict between Aaron's detachment and Sam's attachment. Yeah, it seems like Sam's a bit more dependent on this than Aaron. Sam can be impatient with Aaron's excessive analysis, and neither are self-centered. Sam's Mercury sextile Aaron's Venus. They encourage each other to express themselves and they enjoy socializing together, which we did just see that they share similar social circles, so that's there. There's easy communication and they're attuned emotionally. They enjoy the same movies and music and they share mutual friends. Sam's Mercury, Trine Aaron's Jupiter. Aaron is enthusiastic about Sam's thoughts and ideas, and they have positive and inspiring conversations. There's a strong friendship, and Aaron introduces Sam to new ways of thinking, which we did kind of see because we saw how Sam's impatient of Aaron's excessive analysis. So I wonder if he's just someone, you know, like maybe more of an analytical person, likes to like analyze things, share his thoughts about that and all of that. Aaron can be too lenient with Sam, which, yeah, we've already seen how he tends to give her the benefit of the doubt. I think there was something else, but like forgiving relationship as well, which seems to be a bit more on Aaron's end for Sam. There's an optimistic meeting and Sam helps Aaron with self-expression, which you could kind of read this as like self-expression like with acting, because acting essentially is a way of expressing yourself, like the art and all of that. So I wonder if maybe this is referring to like the career she potentially helped him with. Business together is advantageous and they enjoy traveling together, we're seeing again. They come from different cultures. I think this is one of the first ones where this is a generational culture over anything else. Because they're both British, so there has to be like the generational difference and all of that. Sam's Mercury sextile Aaron's Neptune. There's easy communication and they share creative interests. They both enjoy talking about art streams and spirituality. They just get each other and they are captivated by each other. Yeah, there seems to be an obsessive element to this relationship, and like they're just like happy to be obsessed with each other. Like it seems like they're happy with this like dynamic they've going on, because even with like Aaron, we've seen he's quite lenient with Sam. He gives her the benefit of the doubt and everything, so it does seem like they're happy to be in their own weirdness and all of that. Sam's Mercury trine Aaron's Pluto. There are deep conversations and there's a revealing of deep dark secrets here. Healing negative beliefs about relationships in a weird way. I mean, you hope so. Like, I'm trying to kind of be a bit like, maybe this works for them, because like you don't want people to be stuck in a relationship they're unhappy with. But it is a really weird way to go about it, because in a way it's kind of like what you're correcting a past mistake, because I seem like for Sam said maybe something went wrong with her first marriage, and with Aaron something went wrong with his childhood. And like technically it is like scratching that like itch you have, but it's not the best way to go about it. Like, I imagine it's like validating it in a wrong way, you know? Because, like, in my head, it's like they're repeating a pattern that shouldn't be repeating it. Like, you know, it's not like it's to me, like, I'm seeing this as like there is like some, you know, generational like trauma going on, and it's like just continuing it in a new way instead of like actually putting a proper stop to it, if that makes sense. Aaron helps Sam open her mind. So again, he seems to be the one bringing like ideas and all of that to it. Therapist-patient relationship, it seems like it's leaning towards more Aaron playing therapist, because it seems like Sam is wanting validation, which Aaron seems to be giving to her. They get to the bottom of matters and they feel very close to each other. They resolve difficult issues together, and Sam is fascinated with Aaron's depth, so, which we did see she's a bit, I think it was impatient with his analysis, so there is some appreciation for his thoughts. Aaron appreciates Sam's easygoing nature and humor. Aaron's Mercury sextile Sam's Saturn. Sam helps Aaron focus, which again we are seeing an element of like Sam potentially helping Aaron out with career and everything. They solve problems together and Aaron feels he can learn a lot from Sam. Yeah, I mean, you know, she has more experience in certain areas, I'm sure. They have dry conversations and it's a good business partnership. So now it's time for Venus. We have Sam's Venus in Aries and Aaron's Venus in Taurus. Sam gets impatient with Aaron and they balance each other out. Sam sees Aaron as dull and Sam is the more dominant one. Yeah, they headlock frequently and they're attracted to each other and it is challenging. Sam's Venus conjunct Aaron's Mars. There is romantic, emotional and physical attraction and the intensity doesn't fade. I imagine it would be, like, to me, this seems like a relationship like they're scratching an itch they have and it's working for them in like a psychological sense, if that makes sense, you know. They will always remember each other and they have petty arguments. Sam attracts Aaron with her charm, and like we did see how like she feels inspired by Aaron to change herself or something like that. To me, from what we're seeing, we haven't really seen a whole lot when it comes to the meeting. But like it seems like Sam kind of did try to like, you know, entice Aaron, you know, attracting him with his charm and all of that. And she feels inspired to change because of him. It seems to be leaning towards that way of like Sam was the one enticing Aaron, you could say. They know how to push each other's buttons. Sam's Venus square Aaron's Jupiter. Sam feels more confident and attractive around Aaron, we're seeing again, and it's a promising relationship. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of business work aspects, and which that definitely makes sense because like Aaron is successful in his own right. I'm not really sure about Sam, but like for Aaron, this was kind of like a promising business relationship. Like I know they're married, but in the business sense, it is promising. They can find a happy way to share their life, and Aaron may be irritated with Sam's possessiveness. Interesting. Sam's Venus square Aaron's Uranus. They feel they cannot rely on each other. There definitely are inconsistencies here, but you know, there seems to work for each other in other ways, honestly. They are separated at times, we're seeing it again, and Aaron resents Sam's desire for commitment. I do not like how this is kind of being repeated, and we also saw that Sam is kind of trying to like win Aaron over, essentially. Not my favorite. It's just because, yeah, like we're seeing this resentment for commitment and irritation of possessiveness on Aaron's end. I really hope this is, you know, something that builds up over time. Essentially, we haven't really seen necessarily like that sort of deteriorating factor, so I really hope this is like towards the end of their relationship rather than the beginning, and that was changed because that's not very cool. It's an emotional roller coaster and it's not a stable relationship. There is instant attraction, which seems to be a bit more on Sam's and potentially Aaron, but maybe not as like intense, you could say. Sam's Venus square Aaron's Neptune. Sam needs to make sure she falls for the real Aaron, not her illusion. There are extremes of trusting, and Aaron needs to be careful to keep promises and not make huge ones. Aaron has a hard time dealing with Sam because she doesn't want to see reality. This is weird. I don't like this. Aaron's Venus trines Sam's Pluto. It's emotionally fulfilling and it's not likely to grow stale. They both enjoy growing from this relationship, which I mean they have in their own ways. They want to have children together. I'm pretty sure they had children together, so that is they're fulfilled. Aaron sees Sam as a soulmate. I'm not liking how there is a bit of hesitation on Aaron's end. It seems like with Sam, there's like, it's pure, like there's zero hesitation on Sam's end compared to Aaron, which I don't really like. It's just a bit odd. And we have seen previously, like they see each other as like a soulmate. It's just very, Aaron considers Sam irresistible. So now it's time for Mars. We have Sam's Mars in Scorpio and Aaron's Mars in Aries. These are both ruled by Mars in traditional astrology. Aaron triggers Sam's survival instincts. I would be curious to see, because I'm 99% sure she was married. I would be interested to know what the timeline was for that. Like if there was something where, I don't know, maybe like she saw Aaron as like a way out of her marriage, if that makes sense. Like I don't know where else this could be, like, but that she was married, potentially stuck in a bad relationship of whatever way that was. And she saw Aaron as like a way out, if that makes sense. I'm not sure, maybe there are any other ways, like, you know, there would be survival instincts, you know, triggered on Sam's end. They challenge each other and Sam is possessive of Aaron. They both want to be the dominant one in their relationship, which when it comes to dominance, the only way we've seen like this person is on Sam's end. Otherwise, it seems like they just both want it. So that was the final placement. There's no aspects or overlays for the Mars one, which brings us to the end of our reading, of course. If you are still watching, please share your thoughts below. I would be very curious to see what you guys have to say about this one. Very odd, I think as expected, but it feels like a shorter reading, but I feel like all the weird like placements come together. I'm very curious to see how you guys interpret those ones. Hopefully I did it some justice. And if you have made it this far, please consider subscribing for more. I post these readings weekly. And besides that, give this video a like and I will see you guys next time. Bye. And a shout out to my astrology enthusiast, Monkey Girl. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you would also like a shout out and get early access to new videos, click the join button below to join the membership. There are 2 tiers, the observers and the enthusiasts. All that will be in the information in that button. And thank you again, Monkey Girl, for supporting the channel.